So I was listening to the minister as he was discussing the shortages in the shops, and he said it was very distressing to see any green empty shelves, and obviously it's very disappointing. But unfortunately and sadly, it's not the government's responsibility. Otherwise, they would have taken control of the situation. But it's down to the supermarkets to resolve these issues. And if there are issues, they should have thought about this before Brexit and spoken to the suppliers, really. And even though the government will support them 100%, ultimately it is the responsibility of the supermarkets to create a high wage economy, which is what Britain wants. And when asked about the farming industry, and specifically the pig farming industry, sadly, it is not the responsibility of the government to recruit pig farmers or staff trained in culling pigs, because the government is responsible for running the country, not obviously killing pigs. And unfortunately, and despite its best efforts, the government can't get involved in such matters. It's the responsibility ultimately lies with the pig farmers, and in fact any farmer for that matter. And when discussing the hospitality industry, the minister said it was sadly down to the hospitality industry leaders to have sorted out the staffing issues and recruitment of staff a long time ago, knowing that Brexit was about to happen. And even though they will do anything possible that they possibly can, the government, ultimately the responsibility lies with the industry itself. And they support them 100%, but at this point in time, the best thing the government can do is run the country and let the industry get on with it and sort these problems out as quickly as possible. And as regards the construction industry, where there's supply line issues, sadly, it's not the responsibility of the government. The ultimate responsibility lies with the construction companies, and they have to provide mitigations as best they can in order to satisfy the needs of their industry. And even though the government will support them 100% throughout this turbulent period of change, as Britain heads to a global state, unfortunately it's the job of the government really to not get involved in industry, and it's the responsibility of the construction industry to deal with this matter, as the government will get the best results by running the country. And when asked about the any other industry in general, in fact, when asked about the petrol crisis, the minister replied that sadly it's not the responsibility to stop the general public from panic buying, and it's down to the individual to look at their petrol gauge and act responsibly. Even if there isn't any petrol in the forecourt and there isn't any petrol in your tank, it's not the responsibility of government, it's the responsibility of the individual. And he hoped that cleared everything up.